Coronavirus! Coronavirus! I'm telling you, shit is real! Coronavirus! Coronavirus! Shit is real! Shit is getting real! Shit is real!
Hi guys, Alex from the Third Space. And as you just saw, the world is freaking out. COVID-19 is here. People are anxious, and when people are anxious, they tend to panic. And when people panic, they tend to do things that don't really help the situation a lot. Things like this. Well, okay, so with today's video, what we wanted to do is show you a few practical things that might help you. One being the most practical thing you always do, washing your hands. And then we're going to get into why doing this is a bad idea. And yeah, I hope you enjoy, hope it helps. Washing your hands is something you do every day, so enjoy the video.
Hi guys, Phil from the Third Space. Yes, we got a very exciting video for you guys today pertaining to what has been buzzing in the news while we are all in quarantine and social distancing and all of that stuff. So in today's video, we're going to do a tutorial on how to properly wash your hands, because we all know that COVID-19 spreads through touching your face with your hands. That's the most common way of getting it. So we're going to teach you guys how to protect yourself and keep your hands clean. Yeah. So here's what we have. Okay. So imagine this is soap, right? Now we're gonna first rinse our hands under running water for a good 2 seconds, and then we're gonna apply soap to the palm of our hands. Okay, now we begin to smear soap across our hands. Okay, so we've got a nice good. Okay.
Yep. So, at this point, most of you would lather your hands and rinse them off and say you're clean. But, as you can see, the purple is where all the soap is, but all the other white areas represent the dirt that you still didn't wash off. Carefully wash your fingers by rolling over each finger and making sure the soap adequately goes around all of them. Next, you need to pay attention to the top of the thumbs as well as the fingertips themselves. Watch carefully. Make sure that one thumb extends properly over the other thumb so you can get all the areas properly. Then finish off by cleaning the fingertips as well as the fingernails or the edges of the fingernails. Now your hands have been properly lathered with soap and you're ready to rinse your hands. You need to rinse your hands at least twice for 25 seconds each time you do this. That is how you properly wash your hands and keep yourself COVID-19 free. So this is where I jump in a little bit. Now, for the next part, we're going to be talking about why exactly you shouldn't be wearing these disposable gloves everywhere. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a lot of people have been walking around with face masks and disposable gloves in town and wherever else they're going. Now, we've got no problem with face masks. To some degree, they're going to help you, and the WHO is going to release some form of information as to why people should probably be wearing masks anyway. But what we have a problem with is these disposable gloves that everybody's walking around in. So think about it. Why don't we want you guys to wear these gloves? Why don't we want people to wear these gloves? Well, if you don't have gloves on, you're more self-conscious, or you're more likely to be self-conscious about your hands and about sanitizing and washing them the whole time. And that is a lot better than just wearing disposable gloves the whole day. See, if you constantly sanitize your hands and wash them throughout the day, you're less likely to transmit the infection to somebody else or into yourself. But if you constantly have these gloves on, let's say you're touching door handles, you're touching money, you're touching yourself, you're touching everything else. If you ever came in contact with an infected surface, you're going to be spreading this thing to everything you touch, therefore putting people at risk and also putting yourself at risk, because eventually you're going to take these gloves off and touch whatever other infected surface you ended up touching while you had these gloves on. So that being said, our lovely assistant Phil is going to show us exactly what happens when you have these disposable gloves on for the entirety of the day, really. Filming? Yeah, so let's pretend that's COVID now. And this is what happens when you touch an infected area. You end up spreading it to your own hands. And now you're wearing these gloves, right? The disposable gloves that you should probably get rid of. And you don't really sanitize them the way you would sanitize your hands if they were bare. So now let's put a scenario. You're gonna touch everything around you. You're gonna scratch your hair. You're gonna touch your mask that you love putting on so much. And then you touch your pen. Let's say you're gonna write certain things. You're at work. You're gonna touch your phone, dial the number, get all the COVID on that, and you call, right? You're gonna touch your credit card, swipe whatever you need to do at the shop, give it to people. You're gonna touch money. You're gonna touch yourself. Let's say you need to put your hands in the pocket or something. And on top of that, let's say you need to eat, right? The spoon you touch. Everything you do with those gloves is a bad idea because you're just spreading the COVID all over everything else that you own. So at some point you're gonna say, well, maybe I'll just get rid of the gloves. That won't help because you see all the purple areas around you? That's all COVID. Not at all. So there goes the gloves. You wash your hands. At the end of the day, you go home, you're saying you're COVID free, but you have COVID all over you. And that doesn't help at all. On your pen, on your phone, on everything else. So this is why you don't wear gloves everywhere. Rather have your hands and sanitize. Alright, so I hope that video was helpful, or the information was a little bit helpful, and we hope that we taught you something new. The reason we haven't done a third space take on COVID-19 is mainly because we work full-time and we've been honestly too busy. We have our hands full at the moment, so filming videos like the ones we used to do before a little bit, it's really hard to do. But we still have been working on a script, and if you guys do want to see a third space type breakdown on the coronavirus, just let us know, and we'll still work on doing that. But for now, we're pretty confident that lots of you have been doing enough research on this virus, so we think you know enough about it from all the videos you probably watched on YouTube and everything else. But if you still want our take on it, that's fine, let us know. What we'd rather do as well is probably do a Q&A type video. We'll put out a post on Instagram and Twitter where you guys can submit your questions, any questions that you have about COVID-19, and we'll probably tackle that in that way. And that's probably a lot easier for us as well. But if you still want to see a proper third space breakdown video, then just let us know. So like, comment, subscribe, the usual stuff. You guys are in the house anyway, you've got nothing better to do, so yeah, bye.
Hold up.